Greetings, my name is Shammeh from magaming.com. Welcome to Scenery Saturday number 4, and today we're going to be assembling and painting a castle. So the first step with the Citadel Fortress kit is to get it all glued together. It doesn't actually come in sprues, it comes in a bunch of different pieces here. They fit together quite nicely actually, but they do need to be all solidified. Besides the castle, I also have the siege pieces that I'm going to be doing today, so I need to assemble them as well. So let's get to it. Alright, so now that everything is base black, I'm going to take my trusty big ass brush and I'm just going to paint it a base of dark gray, just like I do with my board, my battle board, and with the craters. And then I'm going to dry brush it over lighter shades of gray, because that's the general stone effect that I want. Alright, now that I've got the layers done, the base layers to make it look like stone, I'm going to be doing the wood details. So you can see I've painted over them as if they were stone because it's just easier to do the whole thing that way. But now I will be giving them a base coat of brown, and then I will ink them and then probably give them another layer of brown. Alright, so after painting the wood, I painted the metal bits and then inked them on these doors. And then I did touch-ups wherever I was sloppy around the stone on all of the wooden parts, mostly for the towers. I also painted the doors and all their metal bits. And for the doors, I left them unattached so they could be taken off if need be for when the gates go down. So now that I've essentially got the castle done, I'm going to start working on the siege tower. I'm going to start off painting it all brown, and then I'll most likely ink it, and then I will paint it another shade of brown again. Then I'll paint the metal parts, and then I'll get back to you. So you can see I've got the base layer of brown, and then I've inked it and dry brushed over a second lighter shade of brown. I've started on the leather now. I'm going to be doing that, the lighter shade of brown, then I'm going to ink that and go with an even lighter shade of brown or yellow, something along those lines. I'm using acrylic paints, but it's really nothing special, just leftover paints I have around. Though the ink I am using Citadel inks, because I have plenty of them left and I don't want to make my own watered down paints for the details, just to spare myself some time. Once I do get the leather inked and then dry brushed with another layer on top of it, I'm going to be painting all the metal. So I've got the rims on the wheels, the mechanism for moving the bridge up and down. This thing opens. There's some more metal that I'm going to have to paint inside of here. And I think if I feel like it, which I probably will, there's a bunch of rivets all along the edges that are like nails and stuff like that. There's some on the leather as well. They're actually all over this thing. I'm probably going to paint those as well. And then I will ink the metal once I'm done with that. So that should take me a little while. I'm going to move on to that. Alright, all I have left to paint now is the battering ram, which I'm going to paint much in the same way as the siege tower. It doesn't have any leather on it, so it's going to be all wood, and then I'm going to ink it, and then dry brush it with another color of brown, and then I'm going to do the metal bits and ink those. Alright, so now that I'm done with painting the battering ram, at least the actual ram itself, I'm going to be painting the base. It's got a base with it, and I don't want this to be any kind of army specific. Most of my armies have different bases depending on which army they are. This one I'm just going to paint like brown, make it as neutral as possible, so any of our armies it would look like it might fit in. And that's what I'm going to be doing next. Okay, so now we're going to make some ladders, because I don't want just the siege tower and the battering ram to be the only thing that they can use to assault the castle. So the ladders I'm going to make out of bamboo skewers that I've cut down to be the appropriate height. Okay, with the skewers all cut and set in place. I'm going to glue them down first, let them set, and then once they've hardened, I'll probably be using some thread as fake lashings for each rung. So now I'm going to take a generous amount of thread and use it as lashing for the rungs now that it's fully solidified. Okay, so now that I got the ladders wrapped with thread, I'm actually going to base them black and then I'll paint them. Because when you're using thread, if you don't base them, you'll get fibers all over the place as you start to use them. So I'm hoping that basing them and painting them will prevent some of that fraying over time, and it'll get it so that the wood looks just like everything else we've been painting. And so with the ladders finished, the castle and all of its siege weaponry are done, ready for a Warhammer game.